let's talk about why Frozen 2 is so damn good. Because god damn it shouldn't be that good. God damn it, it's not. It has no right being as good as it is. Right, everybody, welcome to a brand new video. Frozen 2 came out about 3 months ago. I realized that. I might be a little late. But the reason I never talked about it on this channel, other than in my top 10, was because I never really understood, I never really grasped why I enjoyed Frozen 2 way more than I enjoyed the first one. I mean, Frozen 1 isn't amazing. I mean, the only reason Frozen 1 got so much popularity is because of its songs. And not even songs, one song, Let It Go. I mean, the story is good. It's a good story. It's a simple Disney story, but I mean, compared to other Disney stories, I mean, the one previous to Frozen, Tangled, it's infinitely better than Frozen. My point is, Frozen is not a movie that I go back to. At least not Disney movie. But Frozen 2, I like it so much because it's more complex. Actual character motivations and arcs that make sense with what we've seen of those characters. Frozen 1 isn't the perfect movie. Frozen 2 also isn't the perfect movie. I mean, none of them are standout Disney movies. But if you ask me which one's better, Frozen 2 is going to take the pick. And let's talk about why. Number 1, the main characters. We have our main characters are Anna and Elsa. Those are the main characters, at least for me. Anytime they were on screen, I love to see the dynamic between both sisters either arguing or being happy with each other, because you could feel the connection between them. You could feel that they really love each other and that they've really grown from the first time we saw them in Frozen 1. And I think that dynamic right there is really, really unique, and one of the most unique things out of the Frozen movies that we haven't really seen in other Disney movies. That sister dynamic, I think it's really, really special. I think the connection between Anna and Elsa is what drives Frozen 1 and Frozen 2. Their connection pushes the movie forward. It's really nice to see such a compelling set of characters carry a movie. It's really fun. Number 2, the songs. I think the songs are infinitely better than the first one. I mean, Let It Go might be catchy, but sure as hell isn't a good song. I mean, there's even a scene in Frozen 2 where Elsa looks back on herself saying Let It Go and she cringes. Because honestly, that's what I did too when I first saw Frozen 1. I cringed. It felt like the song was written by an emotional 13-year-old. I mean, yeah, it might have been catchy, but it wasn't good. And a lot of people want to compare Let It Go to Frozen 2's Into the Unknown, when I feel like Let It Go should be compared to Show Yourself from Frozen 2. Frozen 2's Let It Go is Show Yourself. Such a emotional, power-driven song that you could hear it in Elsa's voice that she finally found herself. She finally knows where she has to be and what she has to do. And I got goosebumps throughout that whole entire scene because it brings Aurora's voice back. Wow. It brings that voice back that we've heard since the movie started. And it also brings All Is Found, the first song that we hear in Frozen 2. It ties everything that we've sonically heard ever since the movie started, and I think that's a genius move. I think that is amazing. Also, her transformation, in my opinion, is way better than her transformation in Frozen 1 with Let It Go. And I do think that Frozen 2's Let It Go is Show Yourself, and it's infinitely better than Let It Go. It's just better written. It's a really mature song. But let's not forget the other songs in this movie. Into the Unknown is amazing, and in my opinion, if they really want to compare it to Let It Go, Into the Unknown would still be Let It Go in a heartbeat. I think Into the Unknown is a really visually pleasing song, because when I saw it, I was like, wow, it's really been years since we saw the first one, and the singing, and it's part of the character. They have matured. And the standout song for me, Lost in the Woods, is such a good song. My God, it's so enjoyable. It's in my playlist. It's in my everyday playlist because it totally fits in with the movie and it could totally stand out by itself. Why? Because it's literally a 90s boy band song. And in the movie, that's how they give it to you. Like, that portion of the movie for the song looks like a 90s boy band music video, and it's amazing. It's really smart how they did it, and I'm really glad they know what they did with it, because it's amazing. It's great. I really enjoyed Lost in the Woods. It was a really, really smart song. Now, of course, I mean, like in Frozen 1, they had its really not great songs, like When I Get Older, Olaf's song. Why is every... okay, let's talk about that later. I didn't like Anna's last song. And I disliked it so much that I forgot what the name is. I mean, it was indifferent. It's not a bad song, it's just I was indifferent to it. I forgot what it's about. I mean, I remember Olaf dies in it, but that's it. That's all I remember of the song. In fact, that didn't even happen in the song, so if I'm honest with you, I don't remember anything about that song. There's 3 songs in this movie that are infinitely better than the one good song in the first one. And that is already a win. Number 3, the story and the plot. Now, the first one had a really simple story. We need to find out why I'm here, right? And they supposedly find it, and you know what? That's fine. But this one adds so many elements to it. It adds so many layers, and I think that's why I like the song All Is Found, because All Is Found is a song, but it's also the base of the plot of the movie. I mean, Otto Holland is the reason this movie is a movie. And it's all put in that one song, and I think the way they showed it, I mean, are there flaws? There are flaws. There's some things I have questions about. But again, this isn't the perfect Disney movie. But I'm comparing it to the first one, and I think it's a major improvement. There's so many layers to this plot that service the main 2 characters, and it does it wonders. I honestly can't find why they would go with such a darker, more mature story, and I don't have to find a reason because I just loved it anyway. I mean, the first movie was made for like 8-year-olds, and I feel like the people who wrote and did this movie, they realized that, hey, this movie was done 6 years ago. I mean, our demographic isn't the same one as it was 6 years ago. We gotta make this a little more mature of a story. And they did. I mean, we hear the voices of Anna and Elsa's parents as they're dying, which is something I never thought I'd see in a Disney movie. I mean, it was really different and nice and unique seeing that a Disney movie went a little darker than Disney movies are willing to go. I think that was really, really nice. Now again, are there flaws in the plot? Yeah. But there were flaws in the first movie as well. I mean, there can't be too much of a good thing. But the good thing is there, and it's better than the first one, which is the point of this video. And those 3 reasons right there are why I think the first one is inferior to Frozen 2. Now, Frozen 2, just like the first one, has its flaws. Number 1, characters, Olaf and Kristoff. Olaf is just plain out annoying. Ruins every emotional part of the movie. I mean, he's there for comic relief when it doesn't really need to be. I mean, when they're trying to when they're moving north, and before they find their parents' ship, and Elsa is singing that, and then Olaf comes comes out with what I pretty much just did. You're like, why? It feels like there's a threat in the movie, and it feels like it might be something coming, and then you have this goofy, dumb side character kind of ruin it there for you. I mean, I don't know. I didn't like Olaf in the first one, and I sure as hell didn't like him in the second one. And this movie writes characters so good that even when Olaf died, I got emotional. I mean, if I got emotional over a character I don't care about, this movie is doing something good. I mean, and then Kristoff. I loved Kristoff in the first one. And his song in the second one might be my favorite song in the movie. But his character, there was no arc with him. His whole plot was trying to propose to Anna, and he doesn't accomplish it until the end of the movie. In fact, he doesn't appear for a good 30-40 minutes. I mean, after his song ends, that's the last we see of Kristoff. And then we don't see him until like 10 minutes before the movie ends as an ex machina to save Anna from the big rock giants. So you're right, they're questioning, like, what the hell were you doing for 1/3 of the movie? I mean, where were you? But I feel like this movie had so much going on that it couldn't really find something important for Kristoff to do. And I feel like it was in contrast to how important Anna and Elsa are, to how not really important Kristoff is. It's like really important, and then let's have him do one single thing for the entire movie. I mean, it is what it is. And I was talking about characters, and as much as I love Anna and Elsa's dynamic in the movie, Anna is a weird character for me. But especially in Frozen 2, because she's trying to stay settled. I mean, she doesn't want things to change. She sings a whole song about not wanting things to change. But as she's seeing that things are changing, she does a whole 180. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but it's like this movie takes place in what, 2-3 days max? You did a whole 180 to your character. I mean, I don't mind. I love character growth, but I feel like it was too rushed. You know? And yeah, I guess if I had a pet peeve about Frozen 2, it's that. And another pet peeve I have about Frozen 2, it's part of the plot. Now, I said I like the plot. I like the story because it's a more darker, mature story that grew up with its demographic over the years. But also, there's a lot of plot holes. I mean, I'd call it nitpicking, but then at the same time, it's not nitpicking because it could be answered, but it's not. Like, why is there a fifth spirit? And why is it coming out now? You know, supposedly Anna and Elsa are the fifth spirit, but these spirits have lived on for so long. Was there a fifth spirit before Anna and Elsa, or is a fifth spirit a new spirit? Or if Elsa is a fifth spirit, who was calling to her and not to Holland? Because it was her mother, but it's revealed that her mother is just a bridge and not the actual spirit, so who was actually calling her? And maybe the movie did answer it, and maybe I was just not paying attention enough. And maybe that is on me. But the fact that I still have those questions kind of leave me unbothered. I meant bothered. They kind of leave me bothered. But I feel like part of that is why I like Frozen 2 better than I like the first one. Because it's not much like the other kids' movies, other Disney movies. Because it doesn't give you every detail for you to eat out the palm of the movie's hand. Every other kids' movie gives you everything you need to understand it. Frozen 2 realizes it's a more mature movie, and Frozen 2 doesn't tell you everything you need. because the demographic is for older kids now. Logic. Keeps going on. A small price to pay for salvation. But anyway, I know I'm late to this whole Frozen 2 thing. Is Frozen 2 better than Frozen 1? Yes. Infinitely. Are the Frozen movies still top tier Disney movies? No. No. Frozen 2 is a good movie. It's a really good movie, actually. But it just doesn't reach high Disney movies. Hercules, Lion King, Mulan. Not there. But I did enjoy Frozen 2 better than I enjoyed Frozen 1. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, eat some ramen tonight. You deserve it. Love you.